This week's topic is rounding numbers. Say if we talking money, yeah? Simplifying numbers. Again, note to self, make sure these things are charged before recording the video because I know some of you don't charge your phones. Yeah, one of my tutees in particular. So yeah. Hey mathematicians, it's T here, your YouTube maths tutor. How are you today? The light is on. That's what I can say. The light is on. It's Valentine's Day this week, I think. Ooh la la. I'm not really into Valentine's Day, I can't lie. I feel like you should love everyone anytime. So, But if you're into Valentine's Day, then enjoy. And if you're too young for Valentine's and you don't need to worry about them things there, yeah? This week's topic is rounding numbers, and you don't really need to know anything. Like, I'm gonna go through it all in this video, so I think you should be alright. So rounding is quite important for day-to-day life. An example when you would use it is like, say you're in a restaurant and the bill came up to £95 and you're splitting the bill and there's like 3 people, but 95 is not in the 3 times table. So what do? Your 95 divided by 3 is about 31.6 recurring. That's how you can get like an average for everyone else. Obviously, because it's 0.66 recurring, then one person's gonna pay like a penny more. Instead of, if you didn't know how to round and then you just said, oh, 90 divided by 3 is 30, and then there's a whole £5 left and you don't know who's going to pay that £5. It's just embarrassment at the restaurant and we don't want that. So with that all out the way, let's get into the video. Rounding numbers. Before we get into the juice and the method of how to do it, we need to know 2 things. We need to know decimal place, or DP for short. We also need to know about significant figures, which is also SF. So when you have a decimal place, we're probably used to seeing them as 1/10, 100th, 1000th, yeah? So, yeah, whereas this is correct, I prefer to say decimal place because it helps us with our rounding. So it just helps unify everything together. So when we have it, I write 1 DP, 2 DP, 3 DP, etc., etc. Well, as we keep going. But this is literally the place of where the decimal is. So if I said correct to 2 decimal place, we're going to correct to this decimal place. If I correct to 1 decimal place, we're going to correct to there, yeah? If we were to do significant figure, it's more or less the same thing. It's just the position of where the number is in any number. So let's say we were like 2743.57, yeah? And I said we want to know where the third significant figure is, so 3SF, yeah? It will be the third number, the position of the third number in this number. So the third significant figure would be the 4 here, the 40. If I was to say 5 significant figures, yeah, we'll go to the 5th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is also 1 decimal place in this example, yeah? All right, cool. Let's get into the juice then. So here's 3 examples of rounding numbers questions, and I'm going to show you how to do each one. Each one's worded slightly different, but the technique is the same. All right, so let's look at the first one, yeah? It says, correct 3,743.572 to 2 significant figures. So we'll look at the second number. The second number is 7, yeah? So I'm going to circle 7. And then I'm going to underline the number that's directly next to it. And then I'm going to underline the number that's directly to the right of the number I circled. That's very important, yeah? We're going to use this saying that one of my tutees actually told me, and I quite like it. So if it's 5 or more, you let it soar. And if it's 4 or less, you let it rest. And that really means that if the number's 5 or higher, yeah, so if between 5 to 9, so if the number's 5 to 9, you're going to round up. And if it's 4 to 0, you're going to keep it the same. Yeah, we don't round down here. We keep it the same. Yeah, so we look at this number. It's going to tell us if we need to round up or keep it the same. And the number we circled is going to be the number we actually round up or keep the same. So if it's 5 or more, let it soar. Is this number 5? No. So if it's 4 or less, we're going to let it rest. And it is 4, so we're going to let it rest. Yeah. So we're going to keep 7 the same. Okay, so we're going to write our 3 because we haven't done anything to that 3. We're going to keep 7 the same. The one that we were interested in, the second significant figure, has already been kept the same. Okay, so now any number after the number we've underlined, they're all going to turn into a 0. Now this is 3,743.572 corrected to the second significant figure. We just got to clean it up a little bit because when there is zeros in the decimal places, we don't need them. So the answer to the first question is 3,700, yeah? And that is correct to 2 sig fig. Alright, so I've reset the question. We go again. So we're going to correct the same number, but to the nearest whole number, okay? The nearest whole number will mean that we're doing the units column. Unit or ones, because I know some of you lot write it as ones, yeah? So nearest unit or ones, which is this one. So I'm going to circle the number that we are interested in rounding and then the one that is directly next to it, not the decimal dot. The decimal dot ain't moving nowhere. Yeah, so we're looking at the number to the right of the one we circled and we're going to underline it. Okay, so now we're going to use our rule. If it's 5 or more, let it soar. It is 5, so it means that let it soar means that it's going to round up. 3 is going to change into 4. Yeah? And then now we're going to write all the numbers that are before 4 in. So 3, 7, 4. And all the numbers from the one we've underlined are going to turn into zeros. So this is our rounded one. But remember, all the zeros that are in the decimal place are not needed. So the answer to this one is 3744. 3,744. Okay, let's reset the question one more time. Okay, so I've reset the question one more time. As you can see, the skill is going to be the same. It's just the wording of the question is different, yeah? So same number, but this time we're going to do it to 1 dp. Okay, so let's go to where 1 dp is. 1 dp is here. So what are we going to do? We're going to circle it. Yeah, and then straight after we circle it, the one to the right, we're going to underline it. Good. All right, now we're going to use the rule. Is it 5 or more? We're going to let it soar. So it's 7. 7 is bigger than 5. So we're going to round up. So 5 is going to turn into a 6. And then we're going to rewrite all the numbers before the 6. So 3, 7, 4, 3, and the decimal dot. All the decimal places that have zeros are going to be crossed out. This is if it ends in a 0, yeah? If there was a number here, we can't cross them out, but there's no number there, so we can cross them out. So the answer to the last question is 3,743.6. Yeah? Okay, so before I give you some practice questions, a little food for thought. We're going to correct this to 2 significant figures, yeah, which is 9, so we're going to underline the 8. So 5 or more, let it soar. 8 is bigger than 5, so this means that the one we've circled is going to round up. But it is 9. And what do we do with 9? When you round 9 up by 1, it's going to be 10. Yeah, can you see that 10 above? So this 10, the one's kind of going to add on to the number in front. So it's going to be 3 here. This is a 0 because it's the 10. So it's 30. As you can kind of see, it looks like a 30. It's not 30, but yeah. So the 3's here. The 0's still here because we've rounded this whole number up. And then every number after that is going to be 0. So it looks like you rounded up to the first significant figure, but you actually rounded up to the second significant figure, but it was 9. So it rounds up the next number in front. That's something that you need to be careful of because this does happen. It's nothing too deep, but it's just good to know. Here's some examples for you to try. Feel free to pause the video and have a go at them. I've left 110s units columns there so that you can write down each number in the correct places. I've also left the little saying we've got, is it 5 or more, let it soar, is it 4 or less, let it rest, in the corner as well. So you've got all the tools you need to have a go. Pause the video. Welcome back. Let's get straight into it. So on the first one, we've got 4,736.24 and we're correcting it to one significant figure. I'm going to quickly write this in our columns and get back to us quickly. Alright, so that's all written. We're looking for one significant figure, so I'm going to circle the first significant figure and then underline the number that's to the right, directly to the right of the number I circled. It's 5 or more, so we're going to round up. So this 4 is going to turn into a 5 and the rest of them are all going to turn into zeros. We can leave it like that, but the zeros that are at the end in the decimal places don't need to be there, so our answer is 5,000. Yeah, to one significant figure. Let's quickly reset and do the next one. So the next one is 783 to the nearest 10. So I'm going to write 783 here. We want to the nearest 10. So the 10 column is here. I'm going to circle that and underline the one directly to the right. Is it 5 or more? No, it's 4 or less. So we're going to keep it the same. 8 is going to stay the same. We write down all the numbers that are in front of it to the left, and then anything from the underlined one is going to be 0. There's no more numbers for us to write down. So our answer is 780. Yeah, cool. We are on the last one. So let's reset that back. All right, so now we need to do 23.876 to 2 decimal places. So let me quickly just write in 23.876. All done. Okay, so we want it to 2 decimal places, so we're going to go to the 2 decimal places column, circle that number, underline the one to the right hand side. 5 or more, it is 6, so we're going to round up, so a 7 turns into an 8. We write down all the other numbers that are there, and then the one from the underlined is going to turn into a 0. It is the end of our decimal dot, so we don't need it. So our final answer for the final question is 23.88. And there we go. So that was rounding numbers, and now you can split the bill fairly. But yeah, thank you for watching, and if you found anything useful in this video, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See you.